I make money move. If I see you and I don't speak, that means I don't fuck with you. I'm a boss, you a worker, bitch. I make bloody move. Now she say she gon' do what or who? Let's find out. You're later.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the video. Today it's gonna be a commentary. So I got my video right here. So I'm gonna watch while you watch and explain. Anyways, let's get to it. All right, so we got the first movement is pull-ups. So I think I did 3 sets of pull-ups to failure in order to warm up my lats and back muscles. So this was basically a pull workout or a back and biceps workout. Doing this on the Smith machine. That way I don't have to jump so high up or like reach really far up to do pull-ups. And I actually like the way this Smith machine, the bar is. So you could work a little bit with the grip strength, but it's at a nice, it has a nice like handle where you can grab on and pull down. Make sure you're squeezing your shoulder or pulling your shoulders back and down before you pull yourself up to really incorporate the activation of the lats. That way, you know, we're activating what we're supposed to activate. So building up the back muscles. I don't really go heavy with the back exercises anymore. I say that while I'm trying to do 3 sets to failure. But then we moved on to, now that my back is warm, moved on to a traditional lat pull down on the lat pull down machine. My grip is basically a little wider than shoulder width, making sure my shoulders stay back and down, same as the pull-ups, pulling it towards your collarbone. So that means your elbows need to flare out, and then bringing your elbows down as far as you can. You should feel that nice tight squeeze in the middle of your back where your shoulder blades kind of meet. Then I think I did about 3 or 4 sets from 8. The rep range is 8 to 12. I think I did 3 to 4 sets of these. 1, 2, 3. I did 3 sets. Yeah. So 3 sets, 8 to 12, bodybuilding type rep range. I'm working with the lower end of the rep range, so going a little higher in weight. So just finding a weight where you can pull all the way to 8. This next exercise I'm doing on the cable row machine. I use the pull down bar because it has a wider grip, and doing a straight arm pull down or a prone or a lying down straight arm pull down. This way I'm actually activating more at the because you don't get much resistance at the top of the movement. Most of the resistance is coming from the second half of the portion. So I'm focusing more on that squeeze and then the resistance on the way back. So you're gonna feel that squeeze all the way at the bottom, and then you fight that resistance on the way back. This adds a lot more weight, and you're getting more resistance on the way backwards than you usually would with a dumbbell press or a dumbbell pullover. I'm just changing things up. I'm only doing this workout just to change things up. I don't want to do cable straight arm pull downs all the time. So here's another way to really hit the lats, get a nice tight squeeze, focusing on the serratus as well. My back is a bit arched, pulling my shoulders back and down, so I'm trying to get the shoulders out of the movement. So now I'm just focusing all on my lats, because this is basically a lat focused workout. So you can see most of my workouts are pull downs or lat pull downs or a variation of that. And in another video I will maybe not, I don't know, but I do have 2 pull days. One is lat focused and one is rowing motion focused. That way I don't tax out my back, and I still get to work out multiple times during the week because I have that availability. Some people might just do a full back exercise, rowing and lat pull downs in one go. I can do that too, but since I'm very limited in what I can do with my legs, I increase what I can do with my other body parts. And then we moved on to a cable row using a wider grip. So using the same bar as we did for the straight arm pull downs. This is my 1 row motion for the day. Getting so my grip is a little wider than shoulder width, as you can see. And I'm making sure my elbows don't flare up to like 90 degrees. They're basically about 45 degrees. Getting a stretch at the beginning of the movement and then squeezing as far back as I can. Trying to squeeze with my lats, or my lower lats, and my shoulder blades at the same time. So getting a nice tight squeeze in the shoulder blades. Really focusing on that contraction and then trying to control the movement on the way forward. All right. Yeah, cool. And where are we at now? Yeah, so same here as the last few workouts. All of these sets are about 3 to 4 sets, 8 to 12 reps. Not a big variation in the set and rep ranges. And then here I went on to do a close grip or narrow grip lat pull down. This focuses more on a little different portion part of the lats, because you're not actually squeezing all the way down. It's almost like a half rep, but you get a nice tight, you want to focus on getting that nice tight squeeze in the middle, right here, where your shoulder blades is. You want to squeeze right there. That way you can get that little, if you get super lean then and you flex your back, you get that nice Christmas tree look in the back, and that's going to be more developed. So basically these are like, the close grip doesn't, oh yeah, here's me struggling. All right, well, obviously if you struggle that much, then you should lighten the weight, but I let my ego get the best of me. But yeah, you get that Christmas tree development in the back. And then we move on to a single arm lat pull down. You can change the handle if you want, but using this grip is just fine. So using a single arm lat pull down, focusing on same muscle strength and muscle size on both sides. You want to stay, well, at least the best thing to do is be as even as possible on both sides, and to do that you got to work both sides evenly. And here's there's a lot of information where if you're lopsided, most injuries come from being asymmetrical, so you want to be as symmetrical as possible. So doing single arm lat pull downs develops both sides evenly, or you can focus on the strength of both sides to make sure they're equal. That way you don't have one bigger wing on one side than the other. And if you do feel like one side is stronger than the other or bigger than the other, then try to add maybe an extra set to the weaker side, or extra reps to the weaker side. That way you can increase development on that side. And the thing I like to do is always work with the side that's weaker first, and then the side that's stronger second. That way, because your stronger side is always going to be able to pull the weight of the weaker side. So you want to push the weaker side to the limit and then move on to the stronger side. And then make sure that the stronger side, just your reps end at the same number. So like say if you're doing 10 on the left side, you want to do 10 on the right side. Or if the left side's weaker, then you do 11 and then 10 on the right side. Here I'm just doing reverse grip chin-ups. I think I'm just doing 3 sets or 4 sets to burn out at the end. This is a little more focusing on the biceps than anything. Just basically warming up my biceps before I do bicep curls and burning out the rest of my lats. Yeah, I'm still working out in the boot, as you can see. But I like doing like burnout sets at the end, or going to failure at the end and at the beginning. That way I really know I'm taxing out that certain muscle group. Then yeah, so the rep range was to failure. So you see sometimes I was doing 6 to 8 or like all the way up to 12. And then I moved on to a machine bicep curl machine. This one's very interesting. You have to, because the handlebars don't go directly in front of you, you have to really focus on having really good posture. So some people you'll see on this machine, they'll round their shoulders forward and then their biceps kind of go in a different direction than they're supposed to be. But if you want your biceps to contract in the right direction, you want to pull your shoulders back as hard as possible. Like if you were setting up for a bench press as a power lifter, you want to pull your shoulders back and down as far as possible. That way your shoulders don't move at all and you don't involve your shoulders in this movement at all, and it's just all focused on the bicep. So as you can see, there's the paddings on the elbows and it imitates a preacher curl, so your only focus is on your bicep. And your biceps are pretty much the weakest muscle in your body. You're not gonna be able to move big weights out of them. If people are moving big weights, that means they're cheating or they're involving their shoulders, abs, hips, their whole entire body into the movement. You want to just get a nice contraction. I don't do too many different variations of bicep curls because you get a lot of work done while you're doing pull motion exercises, period. So just doing bicep curls at the end as a accessory movement, building them up. But yeah, very strict movement. Really focus on the strict movement. I'm not trying to yank it up with my entire body, so all the focus is on the bicep, and most people have a hard time doing that. So really focus on keeping your arm straight down and then squeezing it straight up as far as you can. And yeah, so this is one of the greatest ways to get rid of the motion of get rid of the cheat curl. So if you have strict form on this exercise, then you're really going to focus on your bicep, and that's going to help it grow potentially. Here I think this rep range is, I don't even know how many sets I did. It's like 4 or 5 sets. 4 or 5 sets, and then I did like 8 to 12 reps struggle. All right, and I'll just let me take over right now.
Okay. Done with my back workout. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. See you in the next one. Ben Pinkies out.
Pictures, they say ghosts. Some who they try to be. Look, I might just feeling some bait. Your babe, my feel like a lake. He wanna swim.